Imagine you're walking down the parking lot to reach your car, and suddenly something peculiar catches your eye. Peculiar not when looked from afar, but when you look close, you'd find something that would shake you from your core. A Polaroid of a girl and a young boy facing the camera, their mouths taped and arms pressed together behind their backs as though they are tied up. What would your immediate reaction and the following action be? This is the story of Tara Calico, a bright young college student who vanished while she was out on a bike ride, leaving behind a mystery that endured for over 30 years and a notorious Polaroid that made international headlines. But who were those teenagers in the Polaroid? Were they really captives? And was the photo a clue to Calico's fate? These questions have lingered for nearly 30 years, ever since Calico went missing one September morning in 1988. In this video, let us find out what actually happened and whether Tara Calico was finally found. 19-year-old Tara Calico from Valencia County, New Mexico, was described as an ambitious person. She planned out most of her days by trying to fit in as many activities as possible, often making detailed daily schedules. She excelled in high school and was a sophomore at the University of New Mexico at Valencia, where she was studying to become a psychologist. She worked at a local bank and was also an extremely athletic young woman who enjoyed running and cycling. Her friends said that she was someone most people would absolutely admire. But the highly ambitious Tara didn't know that life always doesn't go as it is planned, and that her hobby of cycling would strangely prove to be a reason for a setback in her journey towards her ambitions. On the morning of September 20, 1988, Tara left her home in Valencia County, New Mexico to go for her daily bike ride. Her route was the same every day, along New Mexico State Road 47. Her mother, Patty Doel, knew it very well because the pair of them often traveled together, though lately Patty had been skipping rides. A recent incident in which a car drove aggressively close to her, deliberately passing her multiple times, had made her nervous and less inclined towards her ride. However, Tara continued the tradition, cheerfully refusing her mother's suggestion that she should carry a mace. It was the same sunny stretch she had been riding for years, and nothing bad had ever happened. As she headed out the door, Tara jokingly told her mother that she'd better come looking for her if she didn't show up by noon.
It was just an ordinary thing. And she left, and that was the last time I ever saw her.
Was she indirectly hinting towards something that she already knew about? Or this was just a casual talk of something might go wrong, which eventually did. Tara had a tennis date with her boyfriend at 12:30 that she was determined to keep. But noon came and went, and Tara never returned home. When Tara didn't arrive home by noon from her bike ride, as told by her daughter, Patty left home to search for her daughter. She drove her car through the 17-mile bike route that Tara took, but did not see her daughter. Patty then drove the bike route again to see if she could spot Tara, but it was to no avail. Worried, she called the local hospital to see if her daughter was there, then contacted the rescue unit and the Valencia County Sheriff's Department to report Tara missing. This marked the beginning of one of the longest and the most unique investigations in the history of law enforcement books. Tara entered the National Crime Information Center system as a missing person, and an exhaustive 2-week search ensued, which involved state police, the military, local volunteers, and aircraft. But neither Tara nor her mother's bicycle turned up. The search team did notice bike tracks veering off the road and a Boston cassette tape, which Tara was listening to on her Walkman. In addition, they also found the front view window piece of Calico's Walkman. Investigators interviewed at least 7 individuals who reported seeing Calico on her bike ride. All of them claimed to have seen Calico riding north toward her home. Of the 7 witnesses, 5 recalled seeing an old pickup truck following Calico along the highway. They also reported seeing Calico wearing headphones and listening to her Walkman. The search party later discovered Tara's bike tracks, cassette tape, and a piece of her Walkman within a 3-mile radius from where the witnesses said they saw her. Without compelling evidence of foul play, police began to question John, Tara's father, and Patty about Tara's home life. Was their daughter happy? Did she ever talk about travel? They suspected that the 19-year-old had run away from home, a hypothesis that her family vehemently denied, describing Tara as a cheerful girl brimming with enthusiasm in her. The police had nothing in their hands to investigate, and there was no solid clue to trace Tara until nearly 9 months of Tara's disappearance, when a strange discovery gave the investigation some lead. On June 15, 1989, a Port St. Joe resident was preparing to go into a grocery store. She parked adjacent to a Toyota cargo van with a mustached man sitting inside it. After leaving the junior food store, she spotted a Polaroid photo in the space where the Toyota van had been parked minutes earlier. The woman walked over to the picture, picked it up, and stared at the image. It appeared the picture's subjects, a boy and a young woman on their backs with duct tape over their mouths, were in a small enclosed space, such as a windowless vehicle. The woman promptly took the picture to the police department, giving the officers a description of the vehicle and the man parked beside her. The police set up roadblocks in the area, hoping to question the man who was driving the Toyota, but there were no other reported sightings of him. In July 1989, the Polaroid photo appeared on an episode of a TV show called A Current Affair. Some who watched the program contacted Patty Doel, Tara's mother, despite the photograph being found about 1,600 miles away from where she had gone missing. They thought the young woman in the photograph resembled Tara. Once Patty saw the picture, she too felt that the young lady resembled her daughter. Patty believed the woman had similar features to her daughter, noting a scar on the woman's leg was a match to the scar on Tara's leg from a past car accident. According to Patty, the book shown in the Polaroid next to the girl, a paperback copy of My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews, was one of her daughter's favorite books.
Of course, we always wanted an expert verification, but in our minds right there, we had decided that it was Tara.
But the question also was, who was that young boy alongside the girl in the Polaroid picture? Some initially believed the boy in the photo was Michael Hunley. On April 21, 1988, several months before Calico went missing, 9-year-old Michael Hunley went on a hunting trip with his father and a family friend in the Zuni Mountains of New Mexico. They were preparing to hunt wild turkey, but while setting up the camp, Michael disappeared. Michael's father immediately reported the boy missing, but a snowstorm had taken over the area, preventing a thorough search for him. Once the storm subsided, 400 people assisted in the search, but the only clue they discovered was a small footprint in the snow. In July 1989, when a Current Affair episode aired showing the Polaroid, Michael's parents saw the show and thought the little boy in the photo resembled their son. In fact, his mother stated that she was nearly certain it was Michael in the picture. Cibola National Park, where Michael went missing, is roughly 45 miles from Belen, New Mexico, where Tara Calico vanished. It didn't take long for the investigators to see a potential connection in the disappearances. Calico's mother and the Henleys went to Port St. Joe to examine the Polaroid and talk to the police. After the meeting, the parents determined that their children were in the picture. However, on June 22, 1990, a rancher found skeletal remains in the Zuni Mountains. Dental records confirmed it was Michael's body and that the boy had likely succumbed to hypothermia.
I knew it was Michael. I didn't want it to be. I didn't want to see my baby like that, but I knew it was him. And in a way, I was relieved because he's still alive.
Investigators did not suspect foul play and concluded Michael was not the boy in the Polaroid. To figure out if Calico is the young woman in the Polaroid found in 1989, her parents had the photo analyzed by Scotland Yard in London. The lab examined the picture and determined that it was, in fact, Tara Calico. However, the Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico also analyzed the photo and concluded that it was not Tara Calico. The FBI conducted an independent investigation into the photograph as well, but the results were inconclusive. Investigators remain baffled by the photo. The only clue they determined from the image is that the photographer likely snapped it after May 1989, as the specific film used was unavailable until that date. In the end, only one family received answers, and there was still no clue about the whereabouts of Tara Calico. Despite the creation of specialist task forces to investigate the disappearance, Tara's case remained cold in the intervening decades. In 2003, the Doels made the decision to move 2,000 miles from their home in New Mexico to Florida. After enduring dozens of fruitless tips and appearing on countless shows such as Oprah, Unsolved Mysteries, 48 Hours, and The Current Affair to beg for news of their daughter, they decided it was time. Here, there's not anything I can do that doesn't remind me of Tara, Patty Doel said of their home in New Mexico. But a new development emerged in 2008 when Sheriff Rene Rivera of Valencia County said he knew what happened to Calico and who did it. In an explosive revelation, Rivera claimed that two local boys who were in a truck accidentally ran over Calico, and then two other men, possibly parents, assisted with helping the men hide Calico's body. Despite knowing the identities of the allegedly culpable men, Rivera explained they have made no arrests because Calico's body remains missing. In 2017, a Reddit thread about Calico included uploaded documents from the New Mexico State Police case file on Calico's disappearance. In the documents, a man named Henry Brown gave an interview with Deputy Mark Nathala, claiming he had heard some teen boys talking about hitting Calico with their truck and then sexually assaulting and slaying her. He went on to explain that the teens hid Calico's body in the bushes, but when a search party began looking for her, they moved her into a basement before later dumping her body into a pond. One of the alleged suspects named by Brown was Lawrence Romero Jr., the son of the local sheriff. It is likely Detective Rivera was referring to Romero Sr. when he mentioned in the newspaper interview that the alleged assailants got help from their family in hiding Calico's body. Romero Jr. has since passed. John Doel was angered when he learned of Rivera's claims. He said that there was no reason for the sheriff to publicly announce his suspicions if he couldn't arrest the suspects. Two other Polaroid photographs that could have been of Tara Calico surfaced over the years. One was a blurry photo of a girl's face with tape covering her mouth, which was found near a residential construction site in Montecito. Forensic evidence suggested it was taken sometime after May of 1989. The second was of a woman loosely bound with her eyes covered, sitting next to a man on an Amtrak train, dated roughly to February of 1990. No charges were ever brought as a result of either image. Patty Doel found the Montecito image compelling and believed it to be Tara. However, she didn't believe the girl on the train was her daughter. Today, Tara Calico had been missing for more than 30 years. Her disappearance remains one of the most haunting cold cases in recent memory, and at this point, it seems that only chance will turn up answers. However, Calico's sister and best friend have not given up searching for her. The two women stated that they have uncovered new information in 2017, and they even released multi-part podcast titles: Vanished, The Tara Calico Investigation. Podcast host Esquivel discusses different theories regarding Calico's disappearance. On the other hand, Calico's parents passed without learning what exactly happened to their daughter. Patty Doel passed in May 2006, while Calico's father David passed 4 years prior to November 2002. In October 2019, the FBI announced a reward of up to $20,000 for anyone who had information that would lead to the location of Tara Calico or the arrest of those responsible for her disappearance. What do you guys think? What happened to Tara Calico? Was she really abducted, or did she actually run away staging her kidnapping? Is she even alive? Or was this case a cover-up by a detective and his son? And what about those Polaroids? Can you solve this mystery and bag the $20,000 from the FBI? Maybe you can. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon for updates on the next such engaging mysteries.